This is Power and Victory, exploding in your life through the incomparable teachings of Pastor Tony Smith, applying the word to real life issues through powerful teaching and powerful preaching. Get delivered and rise to your next dimension through the life-changing Word of God. Power and Victory, brought to you by Pastor Tony Smith of Baltimore, Maryland.
Welcome to Victorious Ministries. We're excited today to bring you our brand new show called Man Up. And today you're in for a very special treat, especially if you're in a committed relationship. Question: do you think it's okay to have joint or separate bank accounts? And ladies, here's one for you. Do you think you should hide that secret stash of money for a rainy day, of course, from your man? Is that okay? You thought he didn't know, didn't you? Well, listen, the answers to these questions and more are coming up next on Man Up.
Hello and welcome to Man Up. I'm Elder Marcus.
I'm Deacon John.
I'm Deacon Stewart.
I'm Deacon Chris.
And I'm D.I.T. Miles.
Welcome to another edition of Man Up, and we hope that you're ready for some good conversation and good information. Today our subject and title is having separate bank accounts healthy for a relationship? Do you think that it should be joint, or do you think that it should be separate?
Joint. No, I mean separate, because I don't trust her. I'm just playing.
Life like this.
I'm just playing.
No, I think when you come in crisis, it should be. I learned that it should be joint. I had to learn that.
All right.
I think the difference is if it's going to be secretive. If you have a bank account, if you have a bank account, if you have a bank account, Mr. Educated. If you have a bank account and she have a bank account and you know about it, but then you have a bill account, then I think that's all good.
A bail account?
A bank account.
They getting locked up.
I was about to say, somebody get locked up.
A bail account, Lord Jesus. I think it should be. Well, of course, what we learned that in Christ, of course, married couples should have a joint. But I think depending on the relationship, how y'all work together.
Right.
If y'all can truly, honestly, tell it, not cheat on each other with the money.
Yeah.
You doing what you say you doing with the money, and you're not taking money out, and you saying only took 20, but you took 400.
Oh wow!
This, that, and the other. Yeah, right. It's stuff
You
like
do
that.
blood tests on her for real.
And whoever the one that is the strongest and the fine, because it is not going to always be the man, because we mess up money. It's whoever the strongest in keeping stuff together.
I know for us, because before we got together, of course we already had separate accounts. So for us, we went ahead and we did a joint account, but I like my wife to have her separate account, just so, because it irritates me when she asks me for money. So I rather just, I really don't. I just rather give it. I just rather give it the money, so in that way she can. Okay, all right. It just bothers me. It's just so I rather just give her money. It's like I pay for the gas, I pay for this, and I'm like, here, let me give you some money, and then just to put it aside. So let's say she want to go get some clothes, or like she'll tell me the other day, they got pants $14. Okay, go get. Okay. Just don't ask for the money. Just go get it. So I think we got the joint. We do have the joint account, but because I always believe in a woman should have some money. She shouldn't eat. I don't know. Maybe that's old. That's
I was going to say that because that is an old, old tale that they say that a woman should have an account on the side for just in case, or in case I need to leave. That's what I'm saying. If you're married, I thought it was still death to you part.
Yeah.
So. It sounds like Anime and Ike. Anime, you leave, I'm a kid.
If they be trained to do that, you think?
I think so.
Mothers telling their daughters, always put something to the side just in case.
I mean, but I think if you do that, you're setting yourself up, or you're actually planning for failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, I really don't think that this is going to work, so let me do this on the side as a plan B. Why do you need a plan B if plan A is effective?
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
And I think it brings you closer. I mean, anything you do in a relationship, especially marriage, it's just teamwork. So that can be a factor to bring you closer, trusting, because you're supposed to be trusting me anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unless you just, like I said, unless you just have that understanding.
Well, I mean, I think, too, we got to just put it out on the table that the real reason that people don't want to do joint accounts is because they feel that they're an adult and nobody should be able to dictate what they do with their money.
You're right.
But the reality is, if it's supposed to be a joint venture, then we should know where the money is going. We should know what's going on. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking, you know, gas and electric is $115 and it's $378, but because I don't know it, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm thinking it's $387 and it's really $150. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so, but you want to communicate because the reality is money is one of the biggest factors in causing havoc in a relationship.
Me and my wife have some issues sometime, and it's nothing, you know, we have some issues sometime, and it's like, you know, she will say, we need to do this, we need to pay this, we need to pay that, and you know, and we'll say, okay, this money is for that, and she'll take it, and you know, a week go by, a couple days, or just later on that day, because we gonna do it that day, and let's say that night, and I'm like, did you take care of that? Oh no, I ain't, you know, I'm gonna take care of it. You know what I mean? And you just be like, and like you said, it's irritating to you. That irritates me because it's like, you know, because honestly, when we're not rich, so it's like when you taking the money, you say it's gonna be to this. You know, it need to go to that. And then there's things that I do that irritates her sometimes because I'm real anal, and I just be like, you know, we need to do this. I got like 4,000 things or whatever, and she'd be like, just chill for a minute, just like relax, take a breath. You know what I mean? But and you know, so that's why I really feel like it's really based on how the couple is.
When I get my wife, she's saying like she's not good in finances, which I'm good at it. You know what I mean? But you want to trust your spouse to be able to come out or whatever she's going through. You know what I mean?
Right. You got to teach us, though.
Right. You know what I mean? I'm trusting you that you take care of whatever you take care of. But you always get, not my wife, but you just get, it irritates me when you let bills just lag over. You come and say, well, why the bill is that? And then you say, this is the extended bill. What is an extended bill? You know what I mean?
That means that the first one they get paid.
Yeah. You know, like, really? You know what I mean? That irritates a man. You know what I mean? You know, because you want it taken care of. You want to know what's the bill is. Let's take care of that. I don't want to see a back bill.
Right.
But you know what I think is a big factor in why people don't want to do joint accounts is because they don't have a plan and a system. Because if you have a plan and a system, then joining the money together doesn't become an issue. It only becomes an issue when there's no plan established. Because if I make it known, you know, okay, on the 8th we're going to pay this, on the 13th we got to pay this, on the 26th we got to pay this, then it's already known. That's a given. But when we don't know that, because I'm not planning to pay this on the 8th, I'm planning to hold out and pay it on the 27th, so now there's a late fee to it. You see what I'm saying? But you're going to get upset if you find out about a late fee because that's extra money that we got to pay and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But if there's a system and a plan, I think that it can work to where it's beneficial and there's no hidden agendas. There's nothing for you to be like, well, you know, I thought you made $175 a week, and look like we only got $122 worth of stuff around here. You know, so
you know where I see a lot of times I see people and the problem that they have is that they don't have a written budget. So like I know one of the big problems is swiping. So like and like you was talking about fees. Like my wife know I will drive 3-4 miles to look for the bank that I bank with because I don't like ATM fees. So, but the challenge that most people have when every time you swipe, they not, you know, they just swiping and most people don't carry a checkbook or they don't itemize or balance checkbook, so they just swiping, and then it's like you swiping, I'm swiping, and then all we call the account or we think is one thing, and then but this didn't hit. So, you know, I know a lot of times it'd be so much easier. Like you said, people don't want to be accountable, but if you just get a budget, so you know if your check is this and her check is this, and then we used to do it all the time, do the tithes, you know, your mortgage and your rent, whatever, however you do it, and you know, you waste a lot of money when you don't account for it.
You know what's a silent killer in finance? Gas. Most people don't make gas a part of their budget.
You're right.
Yeah.
And you filling up your tank in the beginning of the week thinking that's going to last you a week, and then Wednesday
One
you got to
day.
fill it up again.
One day
and
you
then,
run it out.
right, you see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, but when that's not a part of your budget, and you look at, especially the way gas prices are now, you know, where it used to be $35 to fill up your tank, and now it's $55 and $60, and that $60 twice a week at the end of the month, you see what I'm saying, is almost your rent. But when you never factored that in,
People don't
you
budget it.
you don't see where your money has gone.
right.
And now, because we don't have a joint account, you don't know, you know, that I just put $60 in this car, and then if you have multiple vehicles and stuff like that, all of that stuff plays a part in it. But if there's no communication or an establishment about the money and how things should go, I think you're always going to have issues, because the reality is this: anybody that works feels like my money is important and don't mess with my money. Ain't nobody wants their money messed with.
My wife just did a budget, you know, a budget sheet for us to do or whatever, because we've always felt like we could Bonnie and Clyde it. It's like we mentally know this. People, you'll try to, and we guilty of that. You'll try to, you know what your bills are daily, but because it's just as simple as putting it down and saying we can only do this amount or whatever, and on this amount, if we on this day we just can't do this, and then staying and sticking to the plan and stuff. And then she was like, she finally just buckled down and was like, John, we got to do a budget sheet and we got to get somewhere. And it's crazy because and the thing of being in God, and because Pastor teaches so much, and it's like you can have all this other stuff going on, right? And when you just don't have that one thing, right, it's like you're not part of the team, you're missing it. You just feel like you just know in your spirit something, you know, it ain't right. So me and my wife are definitely at a place where we're learning and where we at now in God and growing, but our finances is real important too. How we hold our money, how we spend it, and how we handle it, and working together with it and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm learning from listening, especially because we know Chris deal with it, and you got property, and he works, you know what I'm saying? And then Miles got a house, and he got a family, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you really got to be, and as men, and
Everybody
head,
better
you
get
got
one.
sometimes you got to go in, like I feel like my wife is better than, I know how to handle money.
Right.
And I could be, sometimes she'll forget, but when she's focused, she's good with planning stuff. Right. And I'm good at pushing it sometimes. You know what I mean? And sometimes our roles just, it flip-flops.
Right.
So you just got to find a balance.
But you know what I think is good for a couple, and I try to tell people this because it worked for me, that if you treat your relationship when it comes to your money like a business, it works better. Because when you trying to do it solo and they trying to do it solo, stuff gets left out. But if you work it as a business, and the business part of this relationship means we need a place to live. You see what I'm saying? This is the building that our business is run out of. Although we go to work here, this is the building our business is run out of. So if we don't have a property to come to, we can't function as a business. You know what I mean? So we need to make sure that things are taken care of. We got to have this, we got to have that. And there's so many things that we do that we don't, budget properly. And so when we don't do it, we end up with trying to figure out, okay, so how's this going to get paid, or where is this going to come from, or, there's so much stuff that we can get into with it. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I ain't going to tell you. Stick with us. We'll be back, and when we get back, we'll go into part 2. We want to thank Pastor Tony Smith and Victorious Ministries for sponsoring this show. And when we come back, we'll give you some more.
Hey ladies, with all you do, don't you deserve to be celebrated? Pastor Tony Smith and Victorious Ministries Woven Ministry present a special mother and daughter luncheon to be held on Saturday, May 7th, 2011 from 12 noon to 2:30 p.m. at 3300 Glen Avenue. Come and enjoy food, fun, fellowship, giveaways, prizes, and so much more. You do not want to miss it. For tickets and more information, please call the Administration Office of Victorious Ministries at 410-433-8066. See you there.
All right. Well, welcome back to Man Up, and we're going to finish talking about the bank accounts and how we feel as far as merging them or keeping them separate. Now, let me throw this to you. And you may not have experienced it, but, in knowing different people, we can kind of speak on it. Do you think that a man feels betrayed when he has his wife, hopefully, running the money, and she's frivolously spending and things are not getting paid because men are particular about their money, where a woman may work to shop, a man works to live. So when money isn't, taken care of properly to him, he can sometimes go through feeling betrayed. So how do you think that works?
It works. It's betrayal. When women spend money and don't tell you, and they think that it's all right, I'll put it back. You know what I'm saying? Or you have a stash somewhere, you go back like, well, getting a little light. Why I getting light like that? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you go confront, and then, now your feelings involved. What you mean? Blah, 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 blah. What you mean? You could just came and talk.
You're a thief.
You supposed to talk. You supposed to talk. When if it's something there and we married, you supposed to be able to come to your husband or wife and say, look, I took some money, blah, blah, blah. And it's over with, because that's your spouse, you covering them.
What, you got a drug habit?
Yeah.
Where you going? You going to see Elder Marcus in them strip? You going to the nursing home?
Oh, man.
But if you don't have the if you're not having the conversations and you're not saying, okay, is this happening or that happening, then you're really responsible for that too. Because if you're not asking questions when you have concerns, then you're just as much as responsible as she is.
It's true.
I probably, this is kind of what you was talking about earlier, it will probably be a good thing just so everybody's on the same page, because I know sometimes, sometimes you see things where basically the husband let the wife take care of everything, and that's really not good, because if the husband is letting the wife take care of everything, she know where all the money is, she know how this works and all that stuff, and then Lord forbid something happens to the wife, husband is just, he has no idea about nothing.
Right.
So it's and then it can go vice versa. So one good thing is maybe where I know we, like this past week we had Bible study with the family. That was awesome. But even if maybe you have like monthly just sit down, you and your wife, and like, hey, this is like the president give the State of the Union, this is the state of our finance, because we're gonna have goals and stuff like that. But hey, how are we looking right now? Okay, so how savings looking? Are we paying this down, and all that type of stuff. So everybody be on. I think the challenge, when betrayal comes in, is when we don't know. And it could be something real simple that, okay, it's $500 gone, but you don't know that, this bill came out was higher than it usually is. And so I think betrayal is, can happen when, something's going on and we don't know. But just like I think you were saying, we got to, even though, my wife may be better with the finances, okay, because she still she still want that help, okay. Hey, at least, how we going? How we doing? Right. Take care of it, but how we doing? You doing good? Good job. All right, what I mean? So
like he was saying about the business, you got to have those meetings. Like every 2 weeks you have a meeting, or you get paid every 2 weeks. Then you should have a meeting every 2 weeks, or you have a meeting once a month. But that way, even though she's handling everything, you still know what's going on. So I think that's how it is. My wife handle everything, but she let me know what's going on, because that can sometimes be stressful on the woman. She like, you like, okay, all the money go to the bank. The money go to the bank. You paying everything. Why it ain't getting paid? But she's like, okay, I'm doing everything, but it will help me just for you to understand how it's going. Because you might have some input on something that can help smooth things out.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes as men, we gotta, because we could, like, I know a lot of times, we gotta be mindful of things we do. We have plans on a business or a dream or whatever, and we want to take money and do certain things, and then we just have our little things that we like keeping a car wash or getting an outfit, a pair of pants or shoes or something. Because sometimes, we have some money, and a lot of times if we got some extra, me and my wife, we split it. Or whatever, and we might say, even though this is this kind of some chilling money, we might be like, we're gonna do this, and she go to work, I'm at work, I leave, and I'd be like, it's warm outside, I could use a nice fresh O's hat, go get it fitted, go get the car washed or something, and then come home, and she'd be like, oh my God, we could go do this, and it was something we said about together, and I'm like, you don't want to put that off, man. And that's like a betrayal, but it ain't that betrayal that we fuss, but she'd be like, boy, I thought we said, I ain't tripped when you went and got your nails done. I said you could go. Let me get my head. Did you had a little fun on you? Yeah.
The cool thing about what he just said, Pastor was just talking about it Sunday. He said that, remember he said, and it was an awesome statement, he said, God will cover what covers.
Right.
And what you was talking about is where, because when it's all said and done, it's still, in that I thought that was really cool. When it's all said and done, it's still on us to where, you know, get that, okay, well, hold it back, 'cause we never know.
Right.
We never know. It's like, you know, because like Ante got a bad watch with a pearl, mother of pearl, and I'm like, wow, I really want that watch. It's nice. Right. But it's like, let me hold it because, you know, something may, you know, dance, something may come up. You know what I mean? So
financial advisor.
Yeah. Who?
Pastor Lenoir. That's where I went to. Financial advisor. When you putting your money together and you don't know how to tweak it, get a financial advisor. With black people, as people, we don't do that. You know, people like financial. I can't afford that. How you know? You just got to go find out. Good thing we got a good church that we had somebody in church that could sit you down and say, oh, you can't get no hair done this week. You know how that is for a woman. Like, what?
Right.
Do it yourself.
They be
Pin it back up.
Too.
Right.
But we really don't have a clue of how much money we waste. And we don't, of course, we're never going to look at it as waste, but we don't realize how much money we spend doing, in a sense, nothing, because we don't see it as spending, you know, because we might say, okay, I'm going to grab some lunch, and, you know, that's $7. And that's $7 is $7 on Monday. But if you eating every day, then that's $35. Right. You see what I'm saying? And if you haven't factored that into your budget, then you $35 short of your rent.
Right.
You know, and then you got to fill up and get more gas, and that's another $35. Then you're $70 short of your rent. You know what I mean? When you sat down and you did your budget, that wasn't a factor in it. You know, and we don't take into. I mean, there's so many things that will help us with putting together our finances and making things work. We don't factor entertainment into our budgeting. You know, we want to go to the movies. We want to go out to eat. We want to do. That's not a part of the budget. Right. We just go do it because, and this is the line that we say. Well, I work, so I deserve. You know, I deserve. But if you don't plan, then you deserve to be broke.
Oh, you I think that swiping thing is addictive because
$35 for a cappuccino.
I had that, and you know, the first time, like, because I wouldn't mess with bank accounts for a long time, so a couple years ago, and it's like, you know, I would swipe for stuff, and you know, my wife usually keep me trained on it. So I'm a grown man, I got this. Then know they every time you use like debit or something, they charge you $2, this, that, and the other. And then one day, you know, I went to the bank machine, and it was like, you know, you negative this, and I'm like. So I went in, and when they go in there and they tell you, they was like, oh, you went here, you went there, and every one of these was $2 and something. And then after it's overdraft a certain amount, it's $30-something every something, and next thing you know, you $500 done.
Quickly.
And you like,
giving the bank back the
you
money.
Sitting there like, so I tell her, look, I ain't know all this. So she took some of the stuff off. So, but it's like it's a lot of people out there that I'm telling you, just
dangerous swipe.
Swipe because you get a certain credit. You could be zero. But your account straight, you just don't have nothing in there, and swipe and get $300.
But do you think? I think
and people
that's a
take that
rip-off,
and
though.
run with it. But yeah, it's a rip up. People take that and run with it. And us as folk, you know, on a hot summer day or you know the day right, and then you thirsty
somebody
or
wants
something
some
like
crabs.
that. Somebody wants some crabs. Oh, I get that back to you. I'm gonna go in there, you know what I mean? Get that back, but your account overdrawn now. Blah blah blah. They said they had a bill to pay, and
now. You know, Friday ain't till June.
Right. You got direct deposit and you doing that, it's already coming out. So you already short.
I'll tell you.
Exactly. You already short.
Yeah. I tell you what I've done, what I'll do, a lot of times I'll just, you know, direct deposit will come, pay all the bills out, and then take my spending money out cash. So it's like, and I'm gonna talk about something else, but take the spending money out cash. So then when the cash is gone,
then spending money's gone.
Exactly. So that's almost like budgeting yourself. And a lot, and just like we're just talking about budgeting this, budgeting that, but a lot of times, a lot of us don't think about this. We think about I don't know if it's biblical, but I hope it is. But we're supposed to pay ourselves first.
Right.
So it's not about how much money we make, because, you know, you got a lot of people, I gross, I make this, but it's how much money we save. So it's like, just like the business. Okay, what business will stay along if you have no profit? You go bankrupt. Right. So the thing is that, you know, since we're talking about money, okay, we need to focus on saving that money. Because so at the end of the year, if we make $100,000, but at the end of the year I got $500 saved, I'm just as broke as the guy who made $4,000 and got $500. You see what I'm saying? I just got more bills.
Right.
So, you know, we focus on saving money, and once that cash is gone, like I walk around with $2. That's it.
Like, I don't even use my debit because my wife be amazed. She's like, you don't even swipe your card. Because you got to cover. I found out in church that you got to, because I found out riding on the road that you spend a lot of money, man.
You sure will.
Tasty cake here, 2 hot dogs there. You like, gee, I done spent $100 in a week. Literally. But I had to stop and brown bag it. Some man was like, what? I'm going to buy me blah, blah, blah. But if you cover in your house, you take care of the house first, and you brown bag it.
Yeah, that's important. It's very important.
$2 for a soda now. I mean, a soda is like $1.80 something.
When you go to Walmart, grab you some water or whatever,
right. Or buy a 6-pack of
go
soda.
6-pack and put it in the refrigerator.
Like if you buying a soda every day, you buy a soda for breakfast, orange juice for breakfast, a soda for lunch.
You was right.
You told me.
$4 cakes.
I don't even drink soda no more. I'm really proud of myself, man. I had a soda in 4 weeks.
Right with his bail account.
But you have some men that won't even think like, man, I'm going to spend my money the way I want to spend my money. Especially if you're married, you can't think like that.
Yeah, you married, you can't do that.
Because you have to be disciplined. Somebody has to have some type of discipline. Like, okay, for example, my wife and I, we make sure that every week we have a date night. Because outside of being parents.
Every week, I like
every
that.
week. It's outside of being parents, we still are a couple. And so we have to develop our couples. We also develop our family. So what we did was we had separate bank accounts. Not separate, we had joint accounts, but I'm saying we had multiple accounts. So we had an account that just dealt with bills. But then we had what we called our miscellaneous account. So that was how we would, bail account. That was our miscellaneous account. So if we weren't going to use cash when we went to date, that we only use this bank for miscellaneous stuff.
I like that.
So anything we want to do, if we want to take a vacation, if we want to do this, we do that, it's coming out of here. But bills are the only thing that happen here. So nothing should ever go wrong in this account because the bills practically are the same. 90% of our bills are consistent. You know what I mean? So if we have that set, then you have a good bill system. But then if you have something else, be it cash, like you said, or just a separate account that you use for your miscellaneous stuff, then you stop the process of, putting it together. So, we can't talk forever, of course, because shows only half an hour.
You probably could,
but I really thank you guys for the input that you gave today. I really hope that it helped somebody. And we want to thank you all for tuning in to Man Up, and we thank Pastor Tony Smith and Victorious Ministries for sponsoring this. And we do want to leave you with this, that if you want to be successful with your finances, then plan to do what's necessary. So if you want to make things happen, especially if you're a married couple or just a couple in general, bring your things together, because a house divided against itself, it won't stand. God bless you.
Bravo. Bravo.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Man Up. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to hear more from Victorious Ministries, log on to www.PastorTonySmith.com. And you can catch us streaming live every Sunday at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., and 5:30 p.m., as well as on Wednesdays at 7:25 p.m. We pray that you gain something from the show, and more importantly, that you learn something that you can apply to your daily life. Until we meet again, be blessed.